Net checkout is a very common practice in the B2B world, and it allows trusted buyers to place orders and pay for them later. Setting up net terms in Wholesale Gorilla can be accomplished with a few simple steps. To find the net terms settings, we're going to go to the Checkout tab. And then at the top, we're going to see our net terms section. Now in Wholesale Gorilla, net terms means that a customer is allowed to place an order without paying. And to identify customers as eligible for this feature, we need to add a customer tag. So in this case, I'm going to create a tag net. Any customers with the tag net on their account are going to be allowed to place an order and pay for it later. So now that we've set a tag in Wholesale Gorilla, let's go add it to a customer account. From the Customers tab in Wholesale Gorilla, we'll identify the customer we want to give net terms to, and we're going to add the net terms tag to their account. Now, an important note here is that we also have the tag wholesale on this customer account. And wholesale is a wholesale price rule we have set in Wholesale Gorilla. So just adding the net tag isn't enough. The customer also has to be a wholesale customer with an eligible wholesale price rule. So once the customer is already a wholesale customer, we can add our net tag to give them the net checkout option. So I'm going to go ahead and log in with this test wholesale customer account on the storefront. So I've logged in with that test account and put together a cart for the customer. I'm going to go ahead and click continue, and then we're going to submit our net order. So you can see here that instead of entering checkout, we've landed on this net order confirmation page. You can change the text that appears here, which we'll go over in a later guide. But for now, our customer has placed an order. So what happens next? Back in our Shopify admin, let's go to the Orders tab. And you'll notice that the order that just came in doesn't actually live in the Orders tab. You're going to find this net order in the Drafts tab. So by default, any net order is going to land in your Drafts tab here. You can change this, which we'll go over in a few minutes. But for now, just remember that by default, net orders end up in drafts. So we open up the draft order, we see the various wholesale prices and notes, but this order is just going to live in drafts until you do something with it or the customer pays for the order. The customer isn't going to be able to pay for the order until you send them an invoice. Again, this is a setting that you can change, which we'll go over later. But right now, in order to fulfill this order and get it into orders, I either need to mark it here as payment due later, or I need to mark the order as paid. I'm going to go ahead and say payment due later within 7 days and create the order. So now this draft order has been turned into an unfulfilled order with the payment marked as pending. Once you're in the order state, you can still send an invoice or enter payment if you took payment outside of things. But the great thing is you can now fulfill this order and it can just exist in your normal order fulfillment workflow. Now we had to do a bunch of manual steps to make this order fulfillable and get it into the Orders tab. But the good news is that Wholesale Gorilla automates all of these steps, which we will go through in a later video.